Aloha and shalom. We're here for the first quarter moon equinox activation, and I'm just getting fed up. It's very bright, so I'm just going to turn that off for my own eyes. And while y'all are tuning in, I'm going to go ahead and start to shuffle. For those of you returning to the activation portal, welcome back. We do this every single week for those of you who are new here. So welcome to you who are new. Let me know in the comments where in the world you're tuning in from. I'm tuning in from Sedona, Arizona. Where in the world are you? Happy equinox. We're 1 week into this lunar cycle. So we had the new moon reading last week. That was a new beginning. Now we're 1 week in. Let's see where we're at. We have Florida in the house. We have Phoenix in the house. We have North Carolina in the house. Where are you from? Remember, the deck is like you, and each card is a different aspect of self. And so we're just waking up all of the different parts, making sure that we're fully awake and here, present here, now. We have Melbourne, Australia in the house. We have West Virginia in the house. Whew, feeling a big, powerful energy all day today. And feel free to share this video now while we're live. If you want to share it with a family member, a friend, or someone who could use an uplifting message. Maybe you have a favorite group on Facebook you want to share this with while we're live. Otherwise, you could wait till the end. The recording will be here, as well as YouTube and Instagram, Rebecca Magic. I'm just shuffling the Hebrew deck for those of you who are new. It looks like this. Works the same way as the tarot. Each card represents a different aspect of self or a different archetype. We have Georgia in the house. Sedona, hey! Okay. Thank you in advance, Archetypes, Faces of the One, for this message that's about to come through. Thank you, thank me, thank we, thank one. Beginning with the challenge, which is also the gift. You can also see it as our current focus of the week. I'm going to pick a foundation card. Why? Why are we going through this challenge? So we could better understand it, so we could show up as present as possible for this challenge. You know, because when we know why we're going through something, when we know what it's all for, it gives us that incentive, that inspiration to really be present for the whole journey of it. And the ally of the week. Okay, we're going to go ahead and start. Challenge and gift of the week is the Two of Pentacles. And it's pentacles, so it's the suit of creation, mind to matter, thoughts to things. So if we're balancing right now, what does that look like? We are, remember, this is the challenge and gift as we succeed through the challenge. What does that look like? It looks like we're going through some changes right now. We're trying to manifest something new. We're trying to create something new, a new life, or even a new job. It could be one particular thing that you're focused on, right? But really this energy is manifesting everywhere. So I encourage you to look for how it's manifesting, not only in one area of your life, but perhaps many different areas of your life. If you look closely, you'll see that that's the case. Okay, so we're trying to manifest something new. We're trying to have new creations, but we still have one foot in the old world. The challenge right now is to not cut corners, not skip steps along the way. Make sure that we have a smooth bridge from the past to the future. Make sure that we don't leave anything undone or unsealed or unfinished, because those things are going to come up We're going to have holes in our plan. We'll trip because we didn't set a solid foundation. So it's like having one foot in the old and one foot in the new. How can we be present in a way that promotes and supports what we want to create, while also not cutting corners, while also not leaving things undone? Okay, so we need to be able to stay in our integrity. We need to be able to follow through with our commitments that we had already previously signed up for. We can't just leave them behind. We need to do right by our whole process. We need to do right by the ending so we can have a positive new beginning. So we're being asked right now to stay patient, remain patient. Know that there is a perfect unfolding of the plan and all plans within the great plan. Everything you want to achieve will happen if you put in the work. As long as it's in accordance with the law, universal law, it can be yours, and it will be yours if you do the work. But do not rush, do not cut corners, and know that how you respond to the current reality of your life, how you respond to the current conditions of your reality will determine the conditions to come. So how are you responding right now? For many of us, on the more challenging end of this, it can look like impatience. It can look like frustration. It can look like doubt, a lack of trust or faith in ourselves, in the self, in the universe, God, whatever you want to call it. So we have to be patient. We have to trust. We have to know that if we do the work, then by law, the fruits will be harvested, but in the proper timing. We can't abandon what we've been doing so that we can just jump onto the next thing. Energetically, that's not right. That's not right. What are we telling the universe when we do that? We're telling the universe, well, whatever you bring me next, I'm going to mess that up too. I'm not going to keep my commitments, so it doesn't really matter what you bring me next. We need to stay present with the ending in order to have a good new beginning. We can't just leave things a mess and run. So clean it up. How can you be in balance with these two worlds, what you've been doing and what you're now wanting to do? How can you create a smooth transition from one thing to the next? That is our focus of the week. And 9 of Wands is the foundation for why we're going through this. 2 of Pentacles. 9s are endings. Wands is a suit of spirit and fire. Why we're going through this? So that we can once and for all end this cycle of suffering. This particular one, right? Because there's so many that we're working on. But what this is saying is, look, if we don't do this work and we don't create a balance between the world we've been in and the world we want to see, then we lose it. We drop the ball. We drop the ball. Literally, look at the art. And what that tells the universe is that no matter what you give me next, this is how I'm going to treat it, because how we do one thing is how we do everything. So end that. End that. Okay? Stop suffering and feeling like, God, this is harder than it has to be, and looking over our shoulder and wondering if we're ever going to make it. The way that you make it is revealed by how you behave, how you respond to the conditions of your reality, which you manifested. So the more we can slow down and be present with what we've already created, regardless of what we're wanting to create, the more we can be grateful for what's already here, then the more success we will have. And this success will be lasting. It's true success. It's success that will go on and on beyond this lifetime. It's deep work that we're putting in. Okay, so know that it's what you do right now doesn't just apply to your current life, the work that you do now to lock in this new success that's going to come from this challenge. The work that you do to become this great balancing act will serve you for the rest of this life and beyond. And it will serve us because this is the collective work. You're doing it in your own life, but it is rippling out and affecting everyone and everything. Okay, so this work is much bigger than just the details of your current reality. We're only using the details of the current reality to affect the larger reality, which is actually infinite creation that we're affecting with this work. So this is why we're doing this balancing act, so that we don't have to suffer, so that we don't have to create this break or this, I see it like a bridge breaking, and then it creates this separation, which then affects our lives continuously until we get it and do the work and mend that bridge. We are that bridge. We need to mend ourselves, heal ourselves, balance our own internal world so that we can be that steady pillar between worlds, so that we can be the anchor between the worlds. Don't be so quick to run away from your current life to something else. A new dimension isn't just born separately from the last. It's born of the previous dimension. From one dimension is birthed the next. So how can you work with your current reality to create the next one? Not running away from any part of your reality, not denying any part of your reality, being fully aware and present and accepting of what is, acknowledging it fully and intentionally working with it, whatever is there, to get to where you want to be. And the ally of the week is the Samech. And the hieroglyphic symbol for this letter is a cane. And why do we use a cane or a walking stick? Because we've been injured or hurt, right? And we need it for support. And when you really think about that, you can see the lesson that's there, the archetypal lesson that's there, is that our suffering becomes our strength. It's what supports us down the line. Another way to look at that is the Samech is connected to Arcanum 15 in the Tarot, the devil, aka the Black Magician. Whatever downfall we go through, whatever struggles or suffering we go through from our own, our own lack of a truthful perspective, our own fall, our own darkness, our own inability to see the truth. Whatever comes from that place when we're in the darkness and we're unable to see the truth, right? Addictions or fights or any negative energy that we carry. Ultimately, when we awaken from that, all of that in hindsight becomes a blessing that we can use as a strength to rise higher than we could have if we had not gone through that. Okay, so why is this letter Samech coming up as our ally this week? By the way, you can Google it. It's Samech, Samech, Hebrew letter Samech. Why is this the ally of the week as we move through this? It's saying, look, don't try to jump from one reality to the next, leaving things behind, try to cover things up or deny a part of your reality because you're ashamed or you're embarrassed. They are your strengths. Those things you're trying to run away from, why would you run away from it? Not only is it okay and you need to forgive yourself, it's also a gift and it's your strength, and it's something that if you don't abandon it, but you look at it and you move through it and you make peace with it, it is gold. It becomes gold. That is alchemy that you can then use and take with you. So look, if you run from that and you run out of shame or guilt or fear or disgust or anxiousness, you're first of all, you're taking that feeling with you because it's within. You're taking that feeling with you, and you miss out on the opportunities that are there for healing and growth and strengthening, empowerment. So we are being asked right now not to run from our reality, to work with it, to create a new one, and especially to look at those places where we feel like we've been hurt or we're hurting ourselves or anything that feels negative, dark, or yucky. Look at those things because that's where the work is. And if we don't look at those things, not only will we not benefit, we will suffer more because it will fester and we will continue to deny it. And it's only going to be a parasite. So this is the message of the week. If we want to stop our extreme suffering, if we want to create more grace in our path as we move along that path into the future, we must learn how to do this balancing act. We must understand that there is no separation. Everything really is one. And so if we want to move to a new reality, that new reality or dimension is not separate from this one here now. In fact, all is here now within. So how can we stop denying our reality? Stop denying our darkness, all those parts of our darkness, the darkness we carry, and instead face it, accept it, really sit with it and ask, how can I transform this, alchemize this into my empowerment and the empowerment of the one? That's how you know you're breaking all the way through. Not only when you use that darkness to then transform it for your own strength and positivity, but for the strength and positivity of all as one. That's when you know you're really breaking through all the way. When you can look at your darkness and say, what can I make of this in a way that I can help not only myself and those around me, but the whole? How can I take this darkness and instead of running from it, feeling shame and guilt, the lowest frequencies, turn it into a lesson, a blessing for all? This is the Samech. Not to run, but to transform that energy, because it's always going to be there. So what are you going to do with it? Run from it? You can't. It's a part of you. All's connected. So let's stop denying. Let's stop running. Let's face it. Let's be honest. Let's be vulnerable. Let's be transparent. Let's not be afraid to say, yeah, I messed up, or yeah, I was this, or I did that. And I learned XYZ from being that or doing that. And now I resolve to do better. And because I'm not denying that part of my existence, I'm free to be the next best version of me. And I'm not sitting here with all this muck and these low frequencies, dense frequencies holding me back. I can make peace with them and allow them to transform, allow myself to transform and really fly. Whew. All right, you guys, so that's the Two of Pentacles, the Nine of Wands, and the Hebrew letter Samech. I'll be here doing this work with you guys on this most powerful day, Equinox. First quarter moon. Next week we have the full moon. So we'll see where all this comes to. We're going to put in the work this week to really not run, but to sit with it, to transform the energy. Really remembering that a dimension doesn't just appear, it is born out of the previous one. So we're going to do the work to be that balancing act. So that next week when the full moon comes, we'll receive the exact reflection that we need to continue on this journey in the best way possible. We will have all of the details that we need to move forward. What will be illuminated will be all of those things that maybe we haven't been able to see, okay? So we're gonna do the work this week, and next week, whatever we haven't been able to quite see, and that doesn't just mean like things that we're missing, things that we're not catching. It also means maybe next week we're gonna see a positive illumination of something to really be proud of. Okay, so look out for that next week. After doing this work, depending on how you do it, depending on how hard you really try, how much effort you put in, we will see the reflection next week. Either reflections of pride and wow, you know, I got this, I'm doing this. And that doesn't mean stop, it means keep going, right? Or reflections of, hey, well, I actually missed that, or I didn't quite get that part. Maybe a combination of both. You'll see where you've been doing really well and how you can do better. Hopefully both, because we live in a world of duality and there's usually both, right? So look at that. Next week, reflect under the light of the full moon and ask yourself, where have I come? How far have I come with this work? I see someone's asking here, Johanna's asking, is that why this week felt like a lot of negativity? Always, always, these messages are timelessly applicable. When there is negativity, it is there to be, and the Samech carries that message. It is there to be looked at. How can I make this constructive? Because if anything is manifested and we give it a purpose to better the whole, we give it a purpose to serve the Creator and all of creation, then it is blessed and it is transmuted and it becomes a part of our higher purpose. So yes, if you ever feel like there's a lot of negativity, don't run from it. This message here is showing us don't run from it, face it and work with it. So let's do the work this week. Please, if you guys have anything to share about this activation, join our private group on Facebook, the Archetypal Alliance, and share how this has affected you today. Share how you've been moving through this theme already, or maybe you want to share as the week goes on. Yeah, we're in potent times. And for anybody asking about my books, please reach out if you're interested in my books. I'm happy to ship them to you. I am doing readings right now. I am also doing natal chart readings right now. And thank you for all of your donations. You can find my links for donation on my wall here, facebook.com/royalpathtarot. My Venmo is Rebecca-Magic with a CK, as you see it spelled here. And if you have any words you want to share in a review, please leave a review on facebook.com/royalpathtarot or email me a review and share with me how these activations have affected you. You can email me at info@royalpathtarot.com. Thank you everybody for being present. I appreciate you so much. Please share this video with your friends, family, anyone who's struggling right now, maybe needs a little support. We're all here in this together. I'll see you next week for the full moon. Happy equinox. Happy first quarter moon. Thank you for doing the work.